everybody, so in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys and telling you guys the 3 books that have literally 5x my income. As you guys can tell, I read a lot of books. At least I did for part of my life. The reason why I'm making this video is to educate you guys. I also want to sort of enhance you guys a little bit, because I know a lot of people don't really take reading books all that seriously, and that's mainly just because reading books sort of has like a weird stigma if you're like a nerd or something. So you guys need to understand that if you want to become somewhat successful in business, you will have to take sort of a training arc, like you see in like all these anime shows and stuff. Like, you're gonna have to take a certain, time or portion out of your life to have some sort of self-discovery, to have some sort of self-improvement training, to have some sort of reflection back on yourself. And that is so vital. I can't stress it enough to grow in business, to grow to that 6 figures, to grow to 7 figures. So with all that being said, I'm going to give you guys the 3 books that helped me 5x my income. So the first one, hands down, is The 4 Agreements right here. And the reason why this book is so special is because I read this book when I was in a period of like sort of darkness. I tried different business models at the time, and I was sort of like, I don't really know where I'm going to go from here. I was a little bit confused. And so I picked up this book because, one, I worked at a bookstore. I literally worked at Barnes & Noble's a few summers ago. So with that being said, I was like stacking this on the shelves a lot of the times. I just didn't know it was a good book. And I honestly thought this was cannabis. So I was like, I was kind of skeptical about it. Picked it up because I heard it was a good self-improvement, self-help book, and I was like, why not? Pretty cheap as well. But this book taught me the 4 rules. The first rule or agreements is be impeccable with your word. The second one is don't take anything personally. The third one is do your best. And the last one is don't make assumptions. So the biggest rule and the biggest agreement that I learned from was to not take anything personally. Because, like I said, this was a sort of dark period in my life. I had a lot of business failures. I had a lot of different business ventures that didn't go as planned. And I was a little bit devastated by them. I was like, why is it turning out like this? I'm putting in so much work. I'm self-discovering. I'm learning. Why is it still turning out like this? And you have to understand, in those times, those are the most pivotal times for you to not give up. And those times when you feel like you want to give up in business, in life, whatever it is, that is the most important time to buckle down, hone in your skills a little bit more, and that is the most important time to just lock in. Just do it. Just lock in. Don't talk to anybody. Don't tell anybody what you're doing. Just focus on yourself and just do the work that's necessary. So this book really taught me, like, especially if someone's, transgressing you in a way, if somebody is taking their feelings out on you, it's probably not you. It comes from another source. It comes from another energy. It comes from another source of energy, stream of life. And this book taught me, like, don't take that personally. Go with the flow, but always try your best, always do your best, be honest with yourself, and the rest will follow. Huge book. I love this book. The next one is a business book. It's written by somebody who a lot of people know in the business realm. He has the same name as me. Not last name, but he has Patrick, it's his name. This book helped me literally master my next 5 moves. Hence the title by Patrick Bet-David, Your Next 5 Moves. This book was so freaking inspirational to me because Patrick was his entire story, how he was I think Iranian refugee. And he came over here. He was younger, and he had to build himself up. His dad worked at a gas station, and the way he went about it is by just failing. And then there's a lot of traumatic events that happened in his life. I'm not going to spoil the book, but I really like this book, and it really sort of helped me like hone in on what needs to happen, because he talks about how he made the analogy about how grandmasters in chess always know their next 5 to 10 to 15 moves, and intermediates in chess know their next like 5 to 10, and then beginners know their next like 2 to 3, 1 to 2, something like that. So this really sort of opened my eyes and broadened my perspective as to like, holy crap, like I need to be super careful of where I'm putting my energy, of where I'm putting my time, and how I'm building a good team. And even if you just run a small coaching business, just having the right setters, having the right closers, just building up a community of people who are like-minded and always have that North Star, that goal that the entire business is sort of honed and focused towards is key to scaling, starting, building, just in general. So having that group of people in your business is going to be extremely valuable for not only the company, but your well-being as well, because you're going to be directed back to like, okay, this is what the business is about. And so this book really opened my eyes about it. Super funny dude, a lot of good funny stories. Has a lot of good workbooks in here as well, sort of walkthroughs. So Your Next 5 Moves by Patrick Bet-David is definitely one y'all should pick up. The last one is another business book, of course, a little bit of an older one. It's by Perry Marshall, and this just blew my mind away. It's called the 80-20 Sales and Marketing. So I picked this book up, I think it was at half price over the summer. I think it was last summer I picked it up at, and I started reading it. And I didn't realize how important the 80-20 rule is. And if you don't know what the 80-20 rule is, it's everywhere. It literally it builds civilizations, and I didn't even know it tied back to so many other things in history. So the 80-20 rule, everybody's heard of it. 20% of the people own 80% of the wealth. So there's just a lot of different scenarios and situations where the 80-20 rule plays a factor in a lot of other things. Business, economics, power, currency. There's just so many different things that this plays a part in, as well as 20% of people buy 80% of your products, or 20% of your customers buy 80% of your services. So it honestly plays a huge role in exponential growth. And if you can really cap out that, he's a master of marketing and sales. Perry Marshall talks about hiring and outsourcing. It's a super, super quality book. I think I took notes on it. And yeah, I'm gonna have to read it again, because this book I read pretty quickly. But honestly, everybody pick this up. You're gonna be under a lot more clarity. Your eyes are gonna be opened, and it's gonna be absolutely crazy what this book does to you. Like, here's one of the chapters: how to get more, $1,000 an hour, work done with a personal assistant, PA. Just talks about different funnels, hiring and outsourcing, not an audition, strengths and weaknesses. So much value packed in here. It's absolutely crazy. So pick up 80-20 Sales and Marketing. If it's the last thing you do, like I said, pick up Your Next 5 Moves by Patrick Bet-David. And obviously for some self-help, self-improvement, pick up the 4 Agreements. If I had to choose 3 books out of this entire bookcase, definitely be these 3 guys. They brought a lot of change in my life, and I thought I'd share them with you guys today. It's honestly super huge for me. Reading is super huge, super important to me because of everything that's been going on in my life, as well as sort of where I want to be. And the funny thing is I was on a coaching call a few days ago. Actually, I think it was yesterday, for one of the coaches that I was looking for a mentor around. I currently don't have a mentor right now. And I'm not that stubborn guy who's like, I don't need a mentor, I know what I'm doing. I'm obviously not that person. I always seek help and guidance. But I was on a coaching call, and or it was a sales call, and he was sort of asking me, I was already familiar with the program, I already took a few sales calls, I just declined them. So I called you back, and I was like, look, I don't really know if I want to do this right now. Sort of hesitant, giving him objections. And he was like, I don't really know another 18-year-old that's doing the type of stuff that you're doing. And I know that could be smoke up my ass. I know there could be a lot of different things, but I do take people's words to heart. And I do also understand that there's not that many, 18-year-olds out there reading a bunch, doing a lot of self-discovery, working on their business all day. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm not saying that to be I do all this work and nobody does. That's not true. What I'm saying is I think it's very important to reflect back when you do hit these milestones, when you do read these books, when you do overcome these obstacles, to not just, bat an eye at it, to not just look the other way, but to literally believe in yourself even more, and to be look, I've gotten this far, I'm pretty accomplished, I'm on the right track. And then you'll have people coming to you asking you questions. In my DMs, I get a lot of questions every single day asking about different things, advice on different things. And it feels really weird to be sort of consulted in that space, because I'm not really used to, I sort of am used to people coming to me after you build a personal brand, but it is still somewhat new to me for literal people, other humans, to come to me asking for advice. That's something that I really love helping people out with. It's why I turned it into a business, because it leaves me the most fulfilled at the end of the day. So with that being said, follow your passions, do exactly what makes you feel most fulfilled. If you don't know what makes you feel most fulfilled, maybe do a little bit of research. Other people's lives, your lives, how to escalate yourself, how to, elevate yourself. So that being said, thank you guys for watching. That's my little spiel. Hope you guys have a good one.